Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. Today I am sitting down with Miska for a little talk, sort of on the back of the developer update that we had yesterday. Not so much on how Hero 31's been delayed, kind of focusing on the next event and the challenges that will be involved in there. But we're going to be talking about reworking Blizzard's sort of store system of Overwatch with the skins and all of the other cosmetics, the problems that Blizzard has with it, and how to fix it. We mentioned Battlepass in our last video. A few people got upset for even suggesting that as an idea, but we wanted to break down how something like that, keyword being something, can be used to make Overwatch a more dynamic game and much more fun to be able to grind out progression.
Honestly, no, you say, I just want to start with that actually. You say a lot of people got angry. I have to say, I actually really respect the idea that people could kind of have a good conversation about it in the comments. Some people were just commenting like, oh, I don't like Battle Pass or whatever, and didn't really elaborate. But then when asked to elaborate on that further, actually started a conversation. So I was pretty impressed by that. That was pretty cool. So yeah, keep that up, guys, like whenever you can. So yeah, to the viewers' credit, it was a pretty good discussion, which is actually what inspired, I guess, this discussion as well, because it is just a pretty good topic. Now, I want to just make clear as well before we kind of start the Battle Pass discussion that when you say Battle Pass nowadays, most people think Fortnite straight away because that's what made it famous, pretty much. Like Fortnite was like the big game that blew up that had used this method. And after that, it's been copied and used in so many other games. And there's a few good reasons for that, but I wanted to just have said the reason as to why I used a picture of the Battle Pass in yesterday's video, for example, is because that's the picture that people know. That's what people know that a Battle Pass looks like. I think I said in the video briefly, but I said in the comments too, that just because a game does it one way doesn't have to mean that when Overwatch does their version of that, for example, if they would, then they don't have to copy that exactly. They can make their own version, and generally Overwatch has been pretty solid at making their own version and just giving the sort of Blizzard take on that particular feature. And that's kind of what I want out of this, I guess.
Before we sort of dive into that, can we take a step back and just like...
Sure. Because
there's a lot of people saying it doesn't need to change, you know. I saw a couple of comments yesterday that was like, I kind of like it how it is, so...
I think those people have to ask themselves, though, sorry to just break in red, but like, do you buy loot boxes? Because I don't, like, I think if we did a poll, like, or have you bought a loot box in the past 3 months for your actual money? I think the number of people who would say yes to that would actually be fairly low. Like, maybe it would be a bit higher since we have a pretty engaged audience of people playing Overwatch now, like still playing the game, not that they're just on and off about it. But still, I think that's one of those things. You got to ask yourself that before you know, to say that it's fine, because at the end of the day, it's Blizzard trying to make money whilst also making the community happy, not just, you know, a way to grind skins for free, which I think is awesome, but still.
I'm even going to ask people on Twitter, and then we can maybe show the results as this video goes live.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Have you bought any loot boxes in the last 3 months? Yes or no? There we go. And answers so far at least are on screen as we're talking, unless I forget to put them, which does happen more often than not. So I guess it's kind of like, do Blizzard need to change the monetization model?
At the end of the day, the monetization model is there to fund further development and just, you know, upkeep and maintenance for that game. But at the same time, I think a good monetization model also makes players excited for the features that monetization brings, you know? Like, you can't just be asking for money and then not deliver other stuff that people want to. Because if, say for example, Overwatch would say, right guys, we need to change it up, so we need to make more money so we can keep up hero releases and map releases like they are right now, I don't think people would really have much sympathy for Blizzard. But if they would go, hey guys, we got all these new, like, really awesome systems that we've developed, and we're gonna put them in game, but we're also gonna put in some new ways to monetize that's just strictly have to do with buying skins and things like that, I think that's something that where it's much easier to actually interest people in it if they actually brought in a lot of other features at the same time, because it would be like the players would be happy with those ways of monetizing, either pay money or just use it for free, and either way bring more attention to that, which Blizzard would hopefully make more money from, which would keep Overwatch alive and keep development going. So, you know, there's kind of like two goals to it, right? Like, there's the corporate make money, but then there's also the get players to actually enjoy it and stick around so they actually spend money. But from our perspective, I think it's super key to keep what's so good about the current loot box system, because it's not the loot boxes itself that's like the good part. It's the way that you can that you get currency right now, so you can buy the skins that you want. You know, you can pick them out from a list. It's the way that you can get loot boxes for free from playing the arcade. It's the way that there are limited time events occasionally that give you other cosmetics. That's the stuff that's good, you know? That's where people yesterday, in terms of the Battle Pass, were, I wouldn't say upset, but rather, you know, hesitant towards accepting that a Battle Pass is actually a good thing for the game. Because I can totally see the bad parts about it, you know, exclusive cosmetics that you can only get if you pay for them. But if there's a way to do that, either you play the game loads and you unlock the cosmetics over time, or you spend money on the ones you really want directly, I think that's an awesome sort of mix for it, I guess you can say. All right, anyway, I've talked for so long now.
I want to take a quick look at Rocket League, because that's a battle pass that you pointed out to me has been really good, but also it's a game that you need to pay for. It's not free, but it also has a premium battle pass, you know, like premium stuff that you need to pay. I think it's like $10 for, but there's also a free battle pass. Like, I'll show it on screen where you have a free battle pass that gets a certain amount of stuff, but if you pay premium, you get stuff basically every tier.
So I think the main important thing to really think about there is that, to begin with, no items in an item pass like this should be gameplay enhancing or gameplay altering. I think that's the number one.
No pay to win.
Yeah. But if you, apart from that, in Rocket League, for example, in the free tiers, there's not really that much good stuff. Like, generally, the free tier is kind of there to have the players that haven't paid for it yet to kind of give a shit, and then when they've leveled their thing up to level 20, but they've only gotten rewards maybe every 5 levels or so, they can look at that and go, do I want all these things that I kind of unlocked but I just haven't paid for yet? Then, you know, they can consider that and go, yeah, cool, yeah, I want these things, and then pay for it and get all those previous rewards. And that makes sense. The reason as to why I say that I like it is that, for example, I played quite a bit of Rocket League recently, not like a ridiculous amount, but it was kind of like my main game for a few weeks. I also played Overwatch during that time, but I played more Rocket League. So I pretty much finished my Battle Pass, Rocket Pass, and that's given me enough keys that I could spend on loot boxes, but I'm just gonna hold on to them and buy the next Rocket Pass with those keys instead. So that's a really cool way of monetizing it post-launch, whilst still letting players that are just hardcore players to get everything for just like, what is it, €7 or something, like €8? Like, I can't remember how much the pass is, but it's not much. But I can totally see how having exclusive cosmetics in the pass would upset some people. And Overwatch is not a full price game anymore, but has been a full price game. Some people have paid $60 to own it, right? Like, I can see how they don't want more.
Here's a system that I can imagine. Right now, let's say in the arcade you play free, or you win free games, I think it is, you get a loot box. Let's take that system, but change the loot box for something similar, like keys. So every key you get, you can open up a loot box. Or you can save up, how many keys is it in Rocket League? Like 10, 20?
Yeah, 10.
So you can basically win 30 games at the arcade. You can get those keys instead of loot boxes, and instead of buying 10 loot boxes, you could spend that on a battle pass. Do you think that's a good idea? Because it means that you can
I like that. Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea, especially if you actually have a free pass during that. So it's kind of like you have to play a certain amount to get enough keys to unlock the battle pass. Because what that also allows is that, say that you could actually buy keys individually, or I don't think you would call them keys in this case, maybe you would, like, just because it's so associated with just like, I don't know,
like tokens,
cases,
like Overwatch tokens.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine you get those tokens instead, and then say that you have like 8 of them, but the battle pass is about to run out this week and you don't have time to play, but you still leveled up your pass. So if you were to just pay for the pass, you could get all their previous rewards too. Then you could buy like 2 keys for, I don't know, $2, and you've essentially spent, you know, all that time playing Overwatch, and it was still worth it because you just spent $2 because you didn't have time. But I want to like really underline that in a perfect world, to me, with the Overwatch cosmetics, how it should work is that they just add loads of new cosmetics into Overwatch, have a pretty long-term sort of item pass thing, like at least 3 months, to kind of what I'm thinking, and then that thing is just free. Like, you just get that straight away. Like, every player gets to play that. It's hard to get all the cosmetics through that. So if you can't do that, you can also, either, you know, recycle items like you do right now with loot boxes and other things and buy them separately, or even pay money for them in the shop. So you can get the cosmetics in different ways. But I think there is a way to balance that so that the item pass is kind of free and everyone's on equal footing. But it's basically just that if you want all of the items, you either need to play loads or actually pay a bit, right? Like that should be kind of the idea, that either you play absolutely loads of Overwatch or you pay like a little bit. Or I say absolutely loads, I mean like how much, like as much as very active players are still playing. Like those players should be rewarded by being able to get every single item for free. But people that maybe don't play that much that still want them, they could actually pay a little bit more. The thing about it though is that I just want there to still be a really good way to earn every single item for free. Like that's the main thing. Because if you remove that, then you remove what's currently good about the system, which makes no sense whatsoever. Like you have this one good thing, why would you change that part? So it's more about the fact that I would like to see some like additional progression in a more season-based format. I don't even think that a battle pass is necessarily the solution. Like the item pass, we might not even need that, but something that changes the system a bit to allow you to unlock cosmetics in other ways would be like very much preferred in my opinion. It's not like I'm sitting there grinding loot boxes. Like I don't have every single cosmetic in Overwatch, and I do it as like I can do it as a job.
You just don't care for them really. I think there's just a point where you've just oversaturated with skins regardless of how cool they are.
That's a good point too.
You're not really like
they just need other stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like people have said like weapon skins, that'd be pretty cool to add. Just some form of like something else that people can maybe like aim for. But before this video gets way too long, events is another thing that's changing, and it was alluded to that they'd be structured in a way, at least for the epic skins, that you'd be able to earn one a week. How do you think that's going to go? Because this is something that Blizzard's been doing anyway. Like the Baptiste skin that we just got recently has been a prime example of no doubt what Blizzard is looking to do in the future. Just I
mean, that's what Jeff, I don't know if you remember, but he did very quickly say that, hey, do you remember like kind of the challenges we've been doing, like the Baptiste one? That's kind of how the epic skins will work.
So how do you think this is going to work in this case? Just win 9 games?
It's just going to be the exact same thing, but like condensed into 1 week. Yeah, but probably not even 9 games. Like, it's probably not even going to be 9 games, honestly. It's probably more going to be like, you know, win 5 games in a week or something like that.
Yeah, and I guess another thing that's important for Blizzard there from a corporate side is it's getting a person that may only log on for the event once to just check out what all the skins are at the start of it, to log in a further 2 times to be able to maybe unlock a skin, especially if it's for free. If it's kind of like you don't need to worry about getting this in the loot box, you can in fact just play the game and we will give it to you. I think...
And this is what I mean though, like Blizzard have good ways that they've figured out to keep players sort of engaged and reward them with cosmetics. Keep that up, right? Players love that part. That's why people reacted like they did yesterday in last night's video's comment section. It's a good sign. I feel like it's a great sign for Blizzard that, hey, the way we let players earn cosmetics for free in Overwatch is great. It works super well, people like it. It's just that the part about paying is not really done that well, and honestly, at this point, not a lot of people are that excited for just new character skins anymore. Like there's so many. Like like I said, I feel like they are underestimating a little bit how oversaturated, I guess, the skin library is in Overwatch.
I think having a store like that as well would greatly help seasons. Right, like, you know, the new season, there's a certain amount of skins that you can get in it and stuff, and then the season after that, it's different and all that. Like, that's something I'd very much like to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like, cause for me, it's not even so much that I'm like, yeah, I've got an income, so I would like to spend my money in Overwatch. Like, I totally get how people who are, you know, studying and things like that might not be very fond of the idea of, oh, Blizzard want us to spend more money in Overwatch. But it's more about finding different ways to get stuff for free and different ways to monetize the game. Like, you need both, and both need to be done well for it to work.
Hopefully you liked our ideas. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Shout out to our vegan viewers again, seeing as they all commented last time. So
oh, did they? Oh, great.
Yeah, shout out to them. We'll shout out some other people next time. If you have any other questions that you'd want us to ask about what we think of roll queue and roll lock and all that, and all the systems and Hero 31 and that. This time we just wanted to focus on an area that I think Blizzard could do with updating, and to be honest, I haven't really seen anybody else talk about how Blizzard can make this a lot better. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.